All right. So we want to know, is this a geometric term? So in other words, we go from one term to the other. Are we multiplying?
Yeah.
It looks like it's times 3, times 3, times 3, right? So this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, right? They want to know the 8th term. Is that right? And they need to know the formula. Okay? So we're going to take the first term, that's -1, right? And we're going to say that 3 times that first term is equal to the first term, which is -1. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true? No.
Sean's saying yeah.
Okay.
I have no clue what he's actually
Because it needs to be to the 0 power here.
Oh.
How do we get 0 here?
Shut up.
1 minus 1, right? 1 minus 1 will be 0, right? Okay? And then 3 to the 0 times -1 is -1. So what about if I plug in, instead of 1, now I plug in a 2? Right? So let's show this. A 2 is plugged in, and then -1 times -1. Will that still work to give me -3?
No.
Yes.
Okay? Then we'll,
Okay, it's fucking second
if
power.
I plug in the third term, is 3 minus 1 times 1. Is that going to be the third term? Okay? So then I think we got it, right? So we could find out the 8th term, right? So now we're just going to go 8 minus 1. And that equals what? 3 to the 7th?
37,
Right?
What
We're just,
the hell did you just say? You said 3 times 7.
No.
3
7.
to the 7th?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 to 7.
It's 2,187.
No, you weren't close.
Well, no, I was trying to prove it 7 times.
Okay?
But where do you do 7 times 7? 3.
Because 3 is 7 hours.
I have no idea what you're talking too quiet for me.
You take 7 hours. Okay, 7.
Alright. How am I going to find it for any power then?
You gotta speak it.
How do I find it for any power? Any variable?
3 to the x minus 1.
Then minus 1.
Boom.
Ah!
Okay? Is that right? Alright, let's do 47. 47 is the sine.
Yay.
Alright. First of all, since I know this is going to go to a third period, or an amplitude of 3, right? I'm going to make this kind of long and tall.
You're not
Do
quitting.
you think a nap would help her?
Next time what?
Try
Not
and grow
combing
it.
it?
No, try and grow it.
Not brushing it?
I put in the oil
Barely.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Grow
it's
it,
drier
it's
than-
Shut up.
Okay,
It used to be
So,
back in Chat Rooms.
when I go to graph this sine, cosine, right? I want to be able to think about what my period's going to be. My period's going to be 3. So eventually it's going to go up to 3, right? And then I also want to think about my amplitude. And then what my period is, I'm looking at this and going, oh, it's going to be 4. That's 1/2. That means I'm going to be doing everything right to here. Okay? So I think I can handle that. Alright, so let's graph the original one. Okay? Just a sine curve. So a sine curve goes from here up to here, through here, and down to here,
Move.
and back to here, right? So it's just going to come up, down, and around. That's a sine curve. Okay?
Yeah, she said she was
I know you get frustrated.
You sound like I'm
Okay.
laughing.
Now what we're going to do is change the period. We need to know the period and the amplitude. Okay? Remember, A
Oh, I did it.
sine B theta. Now, this is changing on the x-axis because it's changing the x. And when the x's do what?
The opposite.
The opposite. Okay? So that means instead of going right 90 degrees, I'm going to go left 90. Okay? What this is, since this is pi, this is 180, right? That means this is 90. That means this is 270 and 360,
Whoa.
right? Okay? So now we're talking about, and let's just write in 2 pi, okay? So now we're talking about our amplitude, right, is going to be 3, and
Good job, Dan. Come on, Dan.
our period is going to be
Still made her breathe.
2 pi over 4, which is pi over 2, which is 90 degrees, right? Okay? So our period is gonna shrink down to here, right? But we're also gonna shift it 90 degrees. But what's funny is nothing's gonna change. Because we're shifting it 90 degrees, that means we're coming over here. Well, if everything happens within 90 degrees, that just means that everything's going to happen from here to here, and then from here to here, it's going to be the same. So this is going to go up. So let's do it. What we have to do is split this up into 4 pieces. Half, half again. What's going to happen is it's going to go up to here, it's going to go through here, and it's going to come down to here, right? And it's going to come back to there. So it's going to go up, down, back up. Okay? And that's shifted 90 degrees. And then it's just going to continue doing that all the way to 2 pi. So every time you got to cut these in half and half again. Cut them in half and half again. Cut them in half and in half again. This is actually a nice, easy one. We had like a crazy one where we had to move it like 70 degrees. That one was ugly. Okay? That's not fun. Moving it 70 degrees. 90 degrees is easy. So 90 degrees, again, I'm going to come up, down, up,
Yeah, your phone's not
up, down, up.
Ever.
So again, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up,
It's always someone else's.
I'm down, I'm
Why do you
up,
blame someone else?
I'm down, I'm up,
How do you feel?
I'm down,
How do you live?
I'm up.
Holy shit.
Oops, went a little bit high.
Still recording.
Got excited.
Is it recording? Yes, I think so. I can't tell.
And these were,
I mean, we've been doing a lot of work. I mean, it's not recording. That's kind of.
is it not?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah.
How do you tell?
Okay, and that's it.
Squiggly line in my eye.
So that's graphing the sign. Okay? Questions?